Take you to Gaza now. The spokesman Ashraf al-Khoura from the Palestinian Health Ministry in Gaza is speaking.
And more than 70 with various and multiple injuries. These are the only victims of the latest massacre perpetrated by the Israeli belligerents on al-Fakhoora UNRWA building. Most of them were women and children who were sitting unsuspecting sitting in the schoolyard. The missiles hit the bodies. As a result, many were torn to pieces, collected their bones and fleshes in plastic bags. The health ministry suffered 150 of their paramedics killed, 27 ambulance vehicles totally destroyed, including the 2 ambulance vehicles carrying the convoy of victims headed to Rafah of yesterday. We reiterate that the Israeli occupation forces purposefully targeted 105 medical facilities, 16 of which are now out of service, in addition to 32 prime care medical facilities, either for the lack of fuel or total destruction. Hospitals in Gaza Strip are overpacked with patients, victims of critical and complex conditions, in addition to the morgues that is overpacked with dead bodies. In addition to that, we are losing lives every minute simply because we fail to intervene or provide the due medical attention. As we speak, the Israeli occupation forces continue to target the roads leading to the south, whereby we are not able to transport those critically wounded victims who require to be transported.
You're watching Al Jazeera. That was Ashraf al-Khoura, the spokesman for the Palestinian Health Ministry in Gaza, giving an update on the medical situation in there. He was talking initially about the attack on the al-Fakhoora school. He said many of those who had died were women and children. Those who had been injured as well were also women and children. We understand at least 12 of them, 12 people, have been killed there. He said 105 medical facilities had been hit. 15, he said, were out of commission. Hospitals in the Gaza Strip, he said, were overpacked. The morgues were packed with dead bodies, he said. We're going to bring in Tamer Qarmout, Professor of Public Policy at Doha Institute for Graduate Studies, who's been with us over the last hour. It's just a chilling reminder, as if we needed it, just what the impact that these Israeli airstrikes are having on the medical facilities. But of course, that's going to have a knock-on effect in terms of the possibility of the spread of disease, simply because there is no water. And also, of course, if these medical facilities simply can't cope with the numbers of killed and injured that they're seeing.
Rob, well, I mean, the entire health sector has collapsed. It has collapsed. I mean, we see hundreds or even thousands of people taking refuge in hospitals. They sleep in corridors inside hospitals. This is a total dysfunctional health sector. I mean, it has collapsed as we talk now. So the ones who are left there, doctors, their families, people, they took risk to be there. It's their values, moral system to stay and help, you know. But it's done. It's deal done. And what Israel is doing now, it's obviously it's killing it's cutting off people from all basic services. People who were left in Gaza now, who haven't moved south now, will soon be left with nothing. No water, no electricity. When I say electricity, don't get me wrong, Israel has cut the electricity a long time ago, but some of them rely on solar cells to charge their batteries, their phones. So, and if hospitals stop their operations because of lack of fuel, then that's it. They'll have to go south. But again, for me, what really astonishes me is that, again, the utter failure of the international system, mainly UN agencies, you know, to even intervene when it comes to helping Palestinians evacuate south if they have to evacuate south. I mean, how would people do it in Gaza when they don't feel safe, when Israel has committed so many crimes, even on civilians fleeing to the south? Why other countries that have been in conflict had mechanisms to help people leave from conflict-ridden areas to safe areas through humanitarian corridors. And when I say this, I talk about like large convoys of buses with UN flags, with guarantees. Then people might say, yes, we can go south. We feel safe to go south now. But with this even not in place, the minimum guarantees, I mean, the international community even has failed Palestinians in their own internal displacement to help them and give them minimum protection and guarantees to relocate safely south. That's also another mass crime and another failure from the international community. It's a moral failure as well for the international community. So I'm going to stop here, but it's really overwhelming to see this, and it astonishes me what the international community, how it failed Palestinians so many times, even in their own displacement, that it cannot help them to be displaced safely under the Israeli attacks.
Tamer Qarmout, thank you for now.
You're welcome.